Hi, my name is Jared Wilkinson, and I work for Jacaranda Advertising in Amsterdam. Well, through my work, I do get invited to a lot of parties and events, and you know what? After a while, you think you've seen it all. But in the end, you find there's always an exception.
Jack?
The other day,
Come and see this.
I received an invitation that altogether looked quite different. At first, I assumed it was an invitation for a film premiere. I mean, that's what it looked like. You know. Anyway, we decided to go. And when we arrived, I've seen some valet parking, but, well, they obviously took it a bit further. The same with the doorman, a spitting image of Puff Daddy, but he turned out to be very friendly and made us feel really welcome. So there we were, one night in Chicago. What could we expect? Well, blues, of course, so I wasn't surprised to see two cats playing some of the finest Chicago blues songs I have ever heard.
I'm going to tell you a story of the life of a musician. One bourbon.
From the cocktail bar where we were sitting, we had a great view of the stage. After a few drinks, we strolled around to have a look at the various events. And I must say, there were quite a few. And you know, wherever we walked, we could not only see and hear the action, but at some places, you could even experience the smells, those gloomy streets of Chicago. You know, sometimes it was so real, it was like creepy. It gave you this sense of danger. It really felt like walking around in the old neighborhoods. Jill, my girlfriend, had spotted a genuine massage parlor where you could have anything from a simple neck massage to a full-body treatment. But it turned out there was quite a waiting list already, so we decided to come back later. We were just dancing to some great music from one of the four DJs when suddenly there was a loud ring at the door, and everybody was like kind of looking a bit puzzled. No average guest would ring at the door at an event like this, would he? All of a sudden, three guys walk in, and the biggest of them jumps up on the stage.
Good evening. Buonasera. It's an honor to be here with you tonight.
But then somebody in the audience suddenly shouted out loud, waving a gun. And before we know what happened, all hell broke loose. The sound of the gunfight was deafening, and again, you could even smell smoking guns. After the two bodyguards had gunned down the attacker, it became clear that this whole incident appeared to be staged by a group of actors, one of them being famous Dutch soap producer René van Broekhoven. Well, I must say, these guys did scare us for a moment or two. Right after that, a group of body-painted people mixed with the crowd, chanting that whoever wanted their body painted or paint someone else's could do it. The nice thing was that you were only allowed to paint the person who painted you before. And hey, the ladies had first choice. There would be a body painting contest later on, with quite a few challenging prizes. Well, Jill and I kinda chickened out by staying together, but believe it or not, we won the 10-day holiday trip. There you go. That's my girl. And yeah, well, that's me. We didn't know many people, of course, but this problem was quickly solved by a group of friendly hosts who not only knew our names, but also seemed to know the company we worked for. So we were introduced to some interesting people. We had a great time, and we made some nice business contacts. One of the best show topics that night was a 12-piece band playing a whole bunch of Blues Brothers songs, and man, these guys really brought Jake and Elmo back to life again. We'd only been in for about an hour or so, and the whole place was already swinging and dancing. After about half an hour of wild action, we felt totally wrecked. So we made our way back to the massage parlor. One of the Thai masseuses gave me a real massage, and Jill, well, what can I tell you? She went for the full body thing, of course, which gave me half an hour to explore other attractions. I couldn't help passing that cocktail bar again, and I can't recall whenever I had such great mojitos. Soon after Jill returned, the famous Dutch puppet player Fred Delfgauw hit the stage for an amazing performance.
Ik geef graag het vaandel aan diegenen die in de toekomst als het ware moeten zorgen voor onze samenleving. Ik was onder de indruk, weet je.
Goedemorgen, dit is uw computer. Doet uw boodschap in.
Ja. Toen je gisteren bij me kwam, toen dacht ik, oh jee, dat wordt niks. En toen stond je daar ineens bij dat gordijn, je kleedde je uit en toen dacht ik...
Ik wil springen.
Wil jij springen?
Ja.
Wat wil jij dan? Hoe hoog wil je dan?
Heel. En dan moet je niet zo van mij en van mijn kindjes van mij, hè?
Wat zeg je?
Who was this guy? A ventriloquist? A puppet player? An actor? A voice talent? Well, I must say, I was quite impressed by his performance. Soon after that, we went back to the Blues Brothers band, and man, did they take it away. It was right after one of their loudest songs when this darn doorbell rang again. Now this must be the police. Somebody choked. Well, how right he was. A cop walks in and steps on the stage to moan about the noise and so on. Then somebody started booing him, and immediately the band starts to play again. And you know, while a steaming blues song hit the audience, this cop turned out to be a male stripper. So I left Jill to enjoy that, and I walked into the casino to see if I could get some luck there.
And a winner. Pay the front line, take the dough. Coming out again.
By the time I left the casino, Jill had caught up with me again, and we got away with some nice cash. Just in time, by the way, to see one of the funniest bands I've ever seen in Holland. I think they were called The Amazing Stroopwafels.
Na een jaar van louter sleur staat de vakantie voor de deur. Van zorgen is men plotseling
Well, you will never find music like this anywhere in the States, I can tell you that. I bet the folks back home wouldn't even know what stroopwafels are.
Oh, wat doet het weer?
The Amazing Stroopwafels. Then I heard one guy make some sarcastic remark about the male stripper. And why a male stripper? I was about to agree with him when the Blues Brothers hit the stage for their final set. This time with another steaming instrumental, which was the perfect setting for a raving performance of yet another stripper, but a female one this time. She had quite a funny act. Even the young guests turned out to be quite amused. And it wasn't over yet. All of a sudden, the lights dim, and this old character hits the stage. He turned out to be Don Nishida, one of the dons of another Chicago neighborhood.
I'm not trying to stop you or anything, you see. I'm not trying to stop you from growing. That's what a man needs to do sometimes. Let's just say, I want you to be very, very careful. Don't spend all your luck in one go. And whatever happens to you up there in Amsterdam, don't forget, you got a lot of friends up here, caring people. Always willing to back you up.
After an amusing stand-up presentation, he announces the launch of a new branch of the company that had organized the whole evening. Now that was a pretty smart PR move. After that, the place was shaken by a huge fireworks display. And you know what? Not outside, but inside, believe it or not. Well, that was it. While another 50s rock band was trying to get the roof off the place, I stumbled back to the cocktail bar. Well, it was 6 hours after we walked into this place. And I got to tell you, there was never a dull moment. I mean, it exceeded all of our wildest expectations.